Oh my. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back. Happy Monday. It was Thanksgiving last week, and I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and were able to spend time with the people that you care enough to spend a holiday like Thanksgiving with. How's that? How's that for riding the fence? A little bit of business to clean up. First of all, regarding the comments, which I love, as you know, I had another comment on a last video that I got the notification for, but I couldn't see it. K Gilla Gorilla, which I can't look at and not think about Magilla Gorilla because I'm old. The only thing that I can guess is if you're putting links in the comments, our benevolent overlords think that you're trying to hook me up with a overseas bride. So if you've got links that you need to share, just email them to me maybe and leave them out of the comments. That way they won't go into the great beyond. The other thing is that the coupon code for the website, Jingle, good on orders $100 and up in the lower 48. We've probably got a couple more weeks if you're thinking about buying stuff for the holidays where you can order that stuff and still reasonably get it before Christmas. When I opened the umbrella this morning, there was a giant Anole who had somehow, for whatever reason, got underneath the umbrella. And when I opened it, there was a look of gratitude on his face, even though he could have gotten out on his own. He was probably very cold. And he has moved to the the outside of the umbrella. I'm sure he's warming himself. So if he decides to make his escape via my shoulder, y'all are going to see something. I thought what I would do is give you a little 3-month update here on my time in Florida. I knew it was going to be different here. So I've been going to see a chiropractor that does active release therapy for my knee. And I was driving to see him 2 Mondays ago. And there's a lot of, spillways. I mean, they're not really canals, but maybe they're canals. I don't know. Bodies of fresh water alongside the road, between the road and the, housing developments. And I'm driving along and kind of just peeking over into the water, and yeah, there's an alligator. A dinosaur, basically. Right there. And not a block down the road, there's guys out there right next to the grass running weed trimmers. I wanted to stop and go, there's a dinosaur right back there. So fast forward, I took a paddleboard lesson. It had been 10 years since I'd been on a paddleboard, and I thought, now seems like the opportune time to get back on one of those things. I mean, I am literally from the house, less than 10 miles from the beach. I mean, you've got that resource. You need to take advantage of it. But I thought, it's been a decade. I'll have a lesson. That'll do two things. It'll get me a board to rent, and I can kind of get the lay of the land. So it was too windy to go to the beach, which is where I wanted to go. So we went to, you know, basically there's an, by the zoo, there's a greenway, which is part of the video that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, that's fresh water. So I'm standing there with the guy, and we're getting ready to carry our boards down to the brackish looking water. And the first thing he says is, he points 6 inches away from my left foot. He says, "You see that right there?" He goes, "That's a fire ant hill. You don't want to step in one of those. So when we're walking down there, you really need to be careful about where you step." I'm like, okay, off to a good start. So me and my shaky legs get on the board, and he's talking to me and he's showing me some things, and he says, now obviously, he says, in a body of water like this, there are going to be alligators, but they don't really bother you. And then as we go on, we're talking about the beach, and he's telling me about all these places at the beach and all the sharks, all the different sharks that are in the water there. And I'm like, this is not exactly the tourist brochure for South Florida. He was less worried about the alligators and more worried about the sharks, where I would think it would be the other way around. And then it was explained to me that alligators are actually pretty dumb. They have little bitty brains, and as long as you don't feed them, they don't associate you with food, and they don't really bother you. Now, that's all fine and well, but when you're talking about a, you know, 6 foot, 8 foot, I mean, even a 4 foot alligator, you know, it's a little intimidating. So this is just all part of my acclimation and, you know, settling in to the, you know, really different planet that is South Florida. But it's the, I don't know, you know, the other thing you do, this is a time warp. I don't know what day it is most of the time. I know the days that I need to go to the store, but, you know, I have to really kind of look at my phone to know what day it is. But it's, you know, it's going to be 75, 80 degrees today. And it's nearly December. So it's a, I think it'll be just fine. So, it was Thanksgiving, and, you know, one of the things that I am truly thankful for, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again, and that's every one of you that watches these videos, and more specifically, the people that value what I do enough to support me on Patreon. I don't talk about it a lot, but it really means a lot to me, and it's a little overwhelming. And, you know, this is not an income for me, but what it does is when I decide that, you know, I want to buy a new little gadget like this little Insta360 Go2, which I shot a little video on Thanksgiving Day. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it. If you didn't, if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's a little hurtful, to be honest with you. But it's only 15 seconds, so I'll throw it in here in case you haven't seen it. But it just makes little things like that, which hopefully will allow me to make content that's a little more engaging, a little easier to do. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And I will take the opportunity to make a gratuitous plug and tell you that, you know, basically for the cost of 2 lousy cups of coffee, or 1 pretty good cup of coffee every month, you can support what I do here. And that's always the first link in the comments. Again, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope it's the start of a holiday season that is both merry and bright. I hope something good happens to you today. Thank you again for watching. Click the thumbs up. Leave me a comment without links. and subscribe if you haven't. And hopefully we can get back to bike stuff here pretty soon. It seems to be opening up just a tick. Till next time, be nice, work hard, ride bikes, play music when you can. I'll talk to you soon.